Greetings, comrades. I'm Jenny. Welcome to Modern Socialist. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about why we need a universal basic income. But first, can I just ask, if you're enjoying my video, agreeing with what I say, give me a like, share the video, get it to everyone out there. Thank you. Right, why we need a UBI. COVID-19 has exposed the holes in our social fabric. The precariat has grown hugely in just a matter of weeks. People who worked hard for little economic gain or social reward in minimum wage jobs with 0-hour contracts were led to believe that those on benefits were scroungers and living an easy life. They have now discovered the truth of living on benefits, living such a life between jobs that offer no future prospects and claiming benefits that are so punitive that claimants will take the first bad job that comes, not being able to have the time to find meaningful employment that at least offers an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. One solution to this you have probably heard of by now: the provision of a universal basic income. So what is UBI? While I could talk about the different types of UBI and the ideologies behind them, that would be far beyond the scope of this introductory video. But I'll just say this. For example, on the left, providing a UBI is about giving people economic security so they can live the life they want to live without the restraint placed by the threat of poverty if things don't work out. For the right, on the other hand, proponents of a UBI want to remove public services and allow people to buy them in a competitive marketplace using the payment that has been provided by a minimal state. As a socialist, I consider only the former type of UBI worthwhile, and that model is what you should keep in mind as I go on. The universal part of a universal basic income means all members of society receive the payments, however rich or poor they may be. That may sound counterintuitive, but it actually makes clear sense if one takes it apart. The universality of the payment sets down the idea that all members of society are valued and treated equally, so everyone must be paid the same amount. Universality makes economic sense too, as it is actually cheaper for a government to administer. As it's not means tested, there is no need for the huge bureaucracies usually surrounding benefit systems. Paying UBI to the wealthy is actually fine, as their payments will be covered by the introduction of a more progressive taxation system. But that's a whole new topic for another time as well, unfortunately. Typically, basic income is understood as a regular modest payment that is sufficient to afford all the necessities to live, whether working or not, providing a bare livelihood free from any compulsion. So, UBI is the payment to all to provide a baseline of economic security with no strings attached, no means testing, no requirement to work. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But It's in that simplicity where the beauty lies. The capitalist economy has become overly complex with all its financial tools that exclude all but a select group. The rest of us then have to navigate this landscape trying to pick up the crumbs the billionaires have dropped while on their merry way. Setting up a UBI would be part of resetting the economy so it benefits society, not the other way around. A worthwhile UBI will allow everybody to live a stable life, not fearing what the next crisis may mean for them and their families. Citizens would have a stable life, allowing them to find their dream job, the economic platform to start their own business, or just simply to work fewer hours and exchange cash for the chance to explore their own hobbies and interests. As Martin Luther King so correctly wrote, "The dignity of the individual will flourish when the decisions concerning his life are in his own hands, when he has the assurance that his income is stable and certain, and when he knows he has the means to seek self-improvement." As well as helping those who are trapped in jobs they can't afford to leave, UBI would also help the many women who are stuck in relationships that are often emotionally, psychologically and physically abusive. This idea of UBI as a tool of women's liberation has arisen partly thanks to the Wages for Housework and global women's strike campaigns. With their own money, as UBI is paid to individuals, not families, women, or those of any other genders, will not be dependent on a controlling spouse and would have the necessary economic backup to move on. Many other examples could be found where a guaranteed quality of life would expand the liberty of those who are living under some form of oppression. And before you say all this UBI stuff is not possible because of some economic reasons that you've been brought up to believe as unchallengeable tenets of capitalism and the capitalist economy, backed up of course by the Protestant work ethic instilled in us as a form of social control, I say, hold your horses! Economic success in Western societies is measured in economic growth in ever-increasing levels of material consumption. It is unsustainable in environmental terms, but it also provides no sustenance to us as humans. Material consumption has been offered to us as empty calories for our souls, as compensation for the inequality in our society and to keep us quiet with shiny trinkets. We are given cake so as to not notice that there is no bread. Universal basic income is a powerful idea whose time has now come. Of course, many political thinkers on the left don't believe that UBI should simply be implemented by itself, as if in a vacuum, but as part of a greater package for renewing our economy so that it works for the greater good of society and the environment, not the other way around. Another big idea for achieving this, that is gaining ground too, is the Green New Deal, which UBI would be a part of. Discussing that is again way beyond the scope of this video, I'm afraid, but I'll link you to another video in which I do. Hopefully I might be able to get it in screen. The broader public is steadily becoming more aware of UBI and the economic crisis surrounding COVID has led to more and more politicians and public intellectuals discussing it openly. It will still require great public pressure to get this policy enacted by a government that is instinctively opposed to any change that might improve the life conditions of the average citizen. But it is still pressure we must apply. That is why we must demand a universal basic income now. Right, that's my case for the universal basic income. Do you agree? Did you enjoy the video? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Any questions, any comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my video, click the bell to be notified of more content coming out. And thank you all for watching. So long, comrades.